and welcome to Beta 78 once again live. This time we have Mike Emery talking with Karen Naismith Robertson on the intention for the Organmic Bubble. We've now built the bubble. That's now been uploaded. Once you've physically built it, you must now use intention with it. And Karen will be joining us now to discuss that with Mike.
Hello there. I have come today to talk to Mike about the use of the organic device and how we can employ the energies that it's creating through our telepathic thoughts.
One of the main purposes of the bubble is to create telepathy in everybody. And it happens automatically in the bubble, which is really neat about it. But so we've devised a intention installation process that has evolved over 30 years, and adding in different bits of the way to create your own chi and to use that chi to power the images you have in your mind, so that the images that you have in your mind will go into the bubble at a core level, at a seed level, and from there it'll get broadcast into reality, into the hexagonal ethers, and made manifest. And there is no doubt that we're doing this. We now have 1,000 people on the Bubble Tech site, and it's important really to go there and read what we got 1,000 people writing different things, writing their experiences of the bubble. People getting cured of cancer, people who stopping hurricanes. That seems to be their claim to fame. They've been quite good at stopping hurricanes, and even a volcano. We knew quite clearly that we stopped a volcano, because it was the result of a spiritual intervention, which is always a quantum leap. And that was a volcano in Hawaii. You can look it up. It went from one day full flow to the next day full stop, and it's been that way for several months now since we sent the intention. There were a lot of people in Hawaii that were asking for Pele, what they call the volcano, to stop. But it was only 2 days after we provided the platform by which those their intentions and our attention, mine and some others, went at the volcano with this process, this program, which I'm going to demonstrate to you, and stopped. 2 days later, it stopped. Bam, done. Full stop. Overnight, from one day to the next, full stop. Full flow to full stop. Okay, so the way that works for installing intentions is, first of all, it's a Chi Kung mudra, where you have left palm up and you extend it out like this, because you're making it L. And L is the first name of God. E-L was the next part of that, which meant I in God, myself in God. But L is not really a name of God, it's a road sign. There's always a right angle. And when you're in one realm and you want to see a parallel realm, it's always at a right angle to you. You see it in the corner of your eye, and so on and so forth. And in the old days, they knew that. So, the way that we have developed over a long period of time, and this is a science, this is not religion or anything else, it works. I mean, it really works. And so that's not religion, which hardly ever works, whereas this is a science that absolutely works if you do it. Okay, so left palm up, heels of the hands together.
Okay, so like this?
Yeah.
With the elbows straight?
You can probably do it better than me, to pull it up, pull your hand up, pull your hand
like
up
this.
on an L.
Yeah.
Okay, you hold it like that, And then we do a Kundalini fire breath that they've been using for thousands of years to increase our personal chi. And by increasing our personal chi, then that adds a lot more power to our telepathic installation. So the chi producing Kundalini fire breath goes like this. And if you're doing it with others, you do it in unison. And you want to do everything in unison when you're doing it with others, including the telepathic intention or the imagination, And when you're doing it telepathically together, you'll see it. You'll actually see this happening out in front of you, in your mind's eye. You will see it, and everybody will see it. Usually it's right over the bubble. You see a little, like a holographic projection of what's coming out of our head, and that's going right into the bubble, and so you do this 30 to 40 times, holding the mudra, doing your best to hold it straight like that.
Right.
And then after 30 to 40 breaths, then you basically hyperventilated to a certain extent. That hyperventilation and putting all that oxygen in the body increases your chi. And so then we stop breathing and breathe all the air out. Get it all out, and then lock it up, and hold your breath. Now, that is a technology that's been used to cure asthma. Okay? So it's a really important technology. And now there's a guy named Wim, W-I-M, Hof, H-O-F, that has been teaching people how to use this technology of holding your breath to increase the heat of their body. He can sit in a 50 below blast furnace and not get frozen, And he does all kinds of amazing things where it's very, very cold, has no effect on him. So we borrow his technology, and so we go, stop, breathe the air out, hold your breath, and while you're holding your breath, the body, when it starts to struggle with breath for air, will produce steroids because it thinks you need them, and this is very, very healing for anything. Other people that are with us should do this. I'll demonstrate it in full later on after the show. Because it's just 30 to 40 breaths. That's it, and then you stop, and then you do telepathically. You go while you're holding your breath. I am sending euphoric healing energy to so and so now. So be it. And then, let's say, I'm sending euphoric energy to Mother Earth now. So be it. Okay? Then you visualize the Earth in a bubble. Fancy that. And then you start dancing with her. Okay? And as you're dancing with her, she will. You want to get into a spin, a very fast spin, and go up through a DNA spiral that you imagine above you, okay? And that is a technology that you can use to bring Archon on side, or the devil, or anybody. You have any dark entity that bothers you, and it comes around you, it gets anywhere near you. After you've done this a couple of times, they won't come around anymore. They'll go, we gotta stay away from that person. They're scary. They get us. And you do. If there's a dark being comes around you, you grab them and you start dancing with them. You're not afraid of them. It doesn't make any difference what they look like, because in spirit, nothing can hurt you. Only you can hurt you in spirit. Okay?
Right.
And so you grab them and you start dancing with them.
Yeah.
And then you go up through a tight DNA spin, okay? And as you're going up with the spin, say it's an Archon, or quite literally, the devil came to me the other day, intentionally, because I was thinking about sending euphoria to all the satanic people, because they're going to need it, because they're about to get in trouble, because we've got a mass arrest thing coming here for those folks, and as I was doing that, Satan himself showed up. Okay. And he knew what was going to happen. I grabbed a hold of him, and we started spinning, okay? And he wanted to spin the opposite direction. So I danced with him until you sync up, you know, because they all have to dance. So they make a difference what kind of being it is out there. There's a root vibe that's the music of the spheres or the music of creation. Everything has to dance. You start dancing with it, it's going to dance, period.
But when you start dancing, is it something that just comes
It's
through?
automatic for them. They got no choice.
Okay. But,
Okay.
but when you say dance, are you dancing in a circle, or
Yeah, you're holding on, you're like a waltz, you know, but like
Okay.
more like a jitterbug. You know, we're going to go into a spin, you know. And so he was spinning the opposite direction. That instead of spinning to the right, you know, all DNA spins to the right. You want to, when you go up the DNA spiral, you want to spin to the right.
That. Which way would you imagine dancing? In
right.
What rotation?
Yeah, right. Yeah, you spin to the right, and you go up to the right, you know, and then the DNA tunnel that you go up through is made out of light love, okay, and you intentionally make it that way. And so I started out with him. He was spinning to the left. We went up and we got up into the thing, and then I turned it to the right, you know, and then we went up through the spin. As you're going through the spin, it's DNA, so you got cross links, and each one of those cross links is an infinite realm, you know, and so what I did, I started out with the little Archon guys, 2 of them. I took them up there, and I was showing these infinite realms, you know, and then you go skip out of that one, you come to the next one. So that causes them cognitive dissonance because they have no brain. All dark beings have a very short memory, you know, all of them, you know, and they have no chance against us. None, 0, you know, and especially when you do this,
Yeah.
you know, and you use it for everything. You dance with Mother Earth like that. You dance with Mother Nature like that. You dance with the volcano that volcano dance I did was amazing. You know, but you know, the dance is very important. And when you're installing your intention in that DNA, you know, and when you install that intention, you go to your bubble genie and you say, "Bubble genie, run that intention continuously. Bubble genie, run that intention for a week, whatever it is. You are the master. Whatever you ask your bubble genie to do, she will do, or it, or he. Then some of them are he. All the bubble genies they come from our heart. We finally found out. You know, we knew that we had bubble genies. You can take pictures of them. You know, well, at nighttime, you get light going sideways across the the Organmic Bubble device.
Yes.
Then you take your camera and you take a picture, and then you look at the picture, you'll see a being in there.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
And sometimes they're massive, you know. But anyway, you know, that's what you do. Okay, so.
So it's important to start with that qigong posture and the breath.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
To build the energy.
It's just it's
a
a science. It's not a religion. This is science. It works, and what it works to do is whatever you want, whatever you can imagine. You know, imagine a new car. I was with a lady. I built her a bubble. She asked for a new car. About an hour later, she had 2. It still works like that. Okay, so you do.
So you have to be
Shh. Then you close your eyes and telepathically go, I am sending euphoric energy to Mother Earth now, so be it. Then you imagine a bubble, her in a bubble, a sparkling bubble, you know, and then you get in there and you start dancing with her, and then you go through the right-handed spin up through the DNA, and you install the intention there. You can say, let's clean the entire Earth, everything, okay? And when you're saying, let's clean the entire Earth, that's when you and your bubble genie are doing it. And you really, really are doing that. When I say clean the entire Earth, it's from the bottom of the Marianas Trench to the top of Mount Everest and all the junk in between. You know?
Okay, so we have great power if we
have, well,
if
yes.
we use it in the right way.
The simple fact that we can do this and it works, i.e. where our intention or our imagination changes reality in a very large way, okay, like stopping a volcano, okay, okay, then it was our imagination or intention that made the volcano in the first place. Otherwise, there's no way that our imagination or intention would have any effect over it. It can't be any more straightforward than that. Okay, and energy-wise, it's images. You know, everything starts as images, and so there's an image of a going volcano. Okay, we change that to an image of well, in this case, I asked the volcano. Okay, you're going to stop. Right now, what do you want to have? Do you want to have a big hole where your volcano is, or do you want to put in a dike of solid rock material, have the lava congeal there, and just have a big block, and basically you become a dormant volcano? I asked it that, and it kind of thought for just a split second and went, okay, we'll make a dike. And the reason is because that volcano likes tourists. It likes people coming around, admiring it and so on and so forth. And so, no problem, full stop. And the next day, a couple days later, that happened.
So you're actually in conversation with the
volcano. Oh yeah, totally. Mother Earth, the volcano, whatever, Satan, whoever you want to change with your imagination or your intentions, you are them, actually. Because there isn't anything out there that isn't you. If you can see it, it's you. It's just that simple. It's all a reflection from our noodle, right. our batshit brain, I like to call it.
Yes.
But our batshit brain is not our brain.
Yeah.
It is our aura, our anu, and that's what everything is. Everything is in anu, and the folks that read my writings know about the anu. It has the two male forms of God in it. And you get your two male forms of God on your side, it might work pretty well, don't you think?
So when things go wrong, it's because we've been using the energy in the wrong way, or other energies have interfered.
Well, television gives us the images that they want us to manifest. Those images, the minute you look at any image for 3 seconds and label it, it becomes part of your DNA, becomes part of an anu, becomes part of the sequences of events within your life that are recorded, and it's part of you.
So in a sense, are we being used to program?
They're programming. They're programming us
through our energy fields.
That's right. They're programming us, giving us the images that they want us to manifest. All of the violent stuff they have on the news is that exactly.
So that's why the media is so important, and that's why
to them, because it makes us, manifest what it is they want to manifest.
So in only 3 seconds, that information.
3 seconds, 3 seconds, it becomes part of your DNA. It's permanently installed. So you go you go to a scary movie or you go to a war film, and you think, well, it's just a movie. Excuse me, no. Whenever you look at those things and let them into your batshit brain, you're causing them to happen and installing them in your DNA. Not only your DNA, but all of everybody else's DNA. When we say stop watching television, that's everybody. Stop watching TV. Don't go to the movies. If it's made in Hollywood, you don't want to know about it. It's just that simple.
It's just don't engage with it at all.
Yeah, right. There's some movies that are proper, like The Matrix, and The Matrix we're trying to break out of is the ether that we're now using to save ourselves, okay? And we'll deal with the ether later, but right now we have to use it, because everything that's physical exists in the ether, and we are connecting up with the ether via the Organmic Bubble. We're connecting up with the ether at seed level in the four-sided ethers. And the images in the four-sided ethers are what made manifest in the hexagonal ethers. The images that you have in your brain are not real yet. They're not in physical reality, right? But they're real in your brain because they're there, okay? And you can see them, right? In your mind and your mind's eye. And the next thing you know, it does come into reality. You get enough people seeing the same thing in their mind's eye, it's going to manifest.
So it's very powerful.
Yeah, it's our imagination
Yeah.
creates the entire universe, the entire multiverse. And that we, by using this intention installation process, that we can change the hurricanes and this kind of stuff, is evidence that we made it in the first place. Okay? It's a product of our imagination.
Right. Yes. Yeah. When you say it like that, it makes it very clear.
Yeah, really. Absolutely everything is.
Yes.
Everything.
Yeah.
Without exception, the rocks, the trees, everything outside of your brain or outside of your eyes is something that you made manifest via your imagination.
What about our emotions? Because it's
the emotion is the catalyst for making things manifest. Thank you very much for asking that question. Because in the bubble, we don't need to manifest an emotion. We already have it. And that emotion is euphoria. Yeah. And so all we have to do is be in the bubble energy space, set an intention via our imagination, and the euphoria will take over with the manifestation process. And the beauty, the absolute beauty of the bubble, and it's the reason why this is very definitely predestined technology, is because it's so simple and obviously has never been done before. And it's here now. It's doing amazing things. And it helps everybody. Just like our friend Tina that interviewed me last night, she's having the hot flashes from she hasn't had them in 2 days now because of the bubble. It's gone away. Oops, sorry about that. But so everything that's done in euphoria will happen. You can't do anything bad. You can't have a bad intention in euphoria. It's not possible. And the really neat thing about the bubbles, like we're sitting around there talking around the bubble, until we actually like summon up our bubble genie by doing this technique and install intention, the bubble doesn't do anything. It doesn't grab a hold of the information in our mind and go about making it manifest. It will only do that with euphoria when we ask it to. Okay,
so
it's completely at our command.
We have to actually put the intention in
order for it to work, right?
And ask. So do we have to go through that process of working the chi and the breath, or can we just, as a thought, is just put that thought out with the Orgone bubble?
After a while of using the intention installation process, which is very, very effective, okay? After a while, then you don't need to do that. You can sit there and mentally do it, just like you said. Yes, correct. But
so you have to boost it first.
Because the breathing and the increasing of the steroids and the chi in your own body is so good for you, you do it anyway. You'll know. You'll get to the point when you're working with your bubble. You'll get to the point that you know that you don't have to do this, okay? But you still want to because it's good for you.
Gets you high, I imagine.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, and you know for a fact that your intention has been installed because there's a euphoric mirror back, and you'll be there and you'll be doing your intention, doing your breathing, and then you'll hold your breath and close your eyes and do your telepathy and send your images out there and do the dance, and then after you've done that, there'll come a point where there'll be a euphoric blowback and you will find yourself locked in this position. Just locked. You can't do anything. You're just stuck there. Well, you can, force it to come out of it, but people that have done deep meditation may be aware of this, but you don't have to have done deep meditation to experience this around the bubble because it happens automatically. And so when that euphoric mirror back occurs, you know that you installed your attention. Okay?
All right.
And so that's why you can't make anything bad with euphoria. It's not possible. Okay? You know, and so, because it's a no-brainer, because the dark nodes can't use it, because it's deadly simple, it's predestined.
Okay,
Okay.
so basically it's a channel they can't access. It's like a channel that they can't access.
Correct. Absolutely correct. They know it's there.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that the authorities and the Illuminati, they know we're doing this. They know about the bubble. They you know, black helicopters coming around certain places where we've got a lot of power.
Yeah.
It's too late, guys. It's too late. Hang up the phone. Go home. You're done.
But just another thought. I mean, is it something that they could use? I don't suppose they'd want to use that because they wouldn't want a euphoric
No, they can't. They
outcome.
can't. The other thing about the euphoria produced by the bubble, as you can feel, we're just sitting around it, is that it's already demonstrated that it's the end of duality. We've got one of our bubble masters is in the Mojave Desert north of Los Angeles. All of the flies, mosquitoes, and cockroaches are dead and gone in an entire valley, okay? And all of the rodents have sacrificed themselves. There's no rodents around there, you know? And most of the squirrels, which are rodents also, you know?
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, and when they sacrifice themselves big time. These rodents come from next valleys over, you know, and they come in at nighttime, and he'd put out a bag of plaster, and plaster kills them, okay? And he'd been using this for years to get rid of rodents. You know, he just mixed plaster with something that they want to eat, like maybe oatmeal or I don't know what, and he mixed with it,
Sure.
you know? But he found that all he had to do was put the bag of plaster out, didn't have to open it, you know? And he'd come out in the morning, plaster'd be gone, there'd be quite a few dead rodents left over, but there's a bunch of fat ravens and owls that eaten all the rest of them. They're all gone. For a while it was by the hundreds. He's run out of rodents now. They've wiped them out. So that's the end of duality. That's nature signaling that euphoria is the end of duality. And the duality is love and fear. Neither of which work, obviously.
Yeah.
But euphoria does.
Yes.
You know, so this, you know, so there is another real obvious point whereby this is predestined technology because euphoria is the end of duality. We've come to the end of duality.
Okay, and the end of fear.
The end of fear, the end of fear and love. Love doesn't work. If it did, you'd know.
So that's actually been a bit of a red herring? The love
How do
and
you mean?
light.
Yeah, of course it is.
The love and light.
Yeah, especially at death. You know, you go out there and you get all loved up, and next thing you know, you're back here. It's a reincarnational trap.
Okay.
Whoops! How'd I do that?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you got snookered, buddy.
Yeah, but they sure have worked hard at keeping us in a fear trap through film and news and
Correct. Yeah.
and events. So what have they been?
But it's
trying
not.
to,
It's not they. It's them. It's us.
It's us.
There is no they.
It's us,
You know.
okay. So the
You know, oneness is
phenomena.
real.
So the phenomena of fear in the media has been to create
Control us.
create polarity,
To use our imagination.
and use our imagination.
For their dark agenda, and it's not them, it's us, you know. The oneness is real, okay? You know, all these dark satanic folks are us, okay?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so,
Big subject.
and so they've set up an amazing system. I'm totally impressed with our satanic folks. They just are totally amazing. They have,
So complex.
huh?
So complex.
Oh yeah, and they have so much power now, you know, and they have had for years, you know. And now what we see every day is more evidence that the cabal exists. Okay, and so that's why I send them Euphoria, because you guys are going to need it.
So have these two things been speeding up together in the sense that this Orgone Bubble technology?
The Orgone Bubble
has
technology
suddenly-
is clearly predestined. There's another thing coming called an event where there's supposed to be 3 days of darkness. We could probably cancel it with the bubble. We get enough bubbles going that we don't need the 3 days of
Yeah,
darkness.
that's right.
But what's supposed to happen during the 3 days of darkness is it clears all the plastic out of the oceans, and it clears all of the man-made material, all the unnatural material. So if you got rayon clothes on you, after the 3 days of darkness, you're going to need some new clothes.
So because it's got so bad, it's going to get very good with this new.
We're headed towards a dream time.
Yeah.
And so, we've achieved the apex of idiocy. We got 7,106 languages on this planet, which is all separation energies. Keeps us separate from one another. And the way that you skip over that is with telepathy. And we've already dowsed. You get 50,000 bubbles. This is important. You get 50,000 bubbles going on this planet. We go into dream time. And when we go into dream time, everything's connected, and we're all together, and those 7,000 different languages become a source of humor. You guys are idiots. Yeah, thank you very much.
Just when we get to learn them. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We already know them. There isn't anything in this entire multiverse that we don't know because we make it.
Yeah.
Which this is one of my main. I've answered every major question in physics, genetics, cosmology, and spirituality, and that one right there is that there isn't anything in the multiverse that's not known by us because we make it.
Got you.
Yeah, that's a major. That's an end of discussion about spirituality.
Yes.
Everybody talks about all these channelers and all this little bit of gobbledygook that they get, that they say it's spirit. Oh, he's very spiritual. He knows all kinds of stuff. Horsebucky. All of that. Everybody knows all of that. We make it. What you're doing is nothing special and probably not correct.
So we were talking earlier about the challenges that are coming up ahead, like 5G and fracking, and basically threats to our environment, serious threats to our environment. And of course, everybody wants to go out there and protest and march and feel that they're going to make a difference that way. But it's not. It's actually feeding.
That's right. You're perpetuating the bullshit.
And perpetuating the bullshit.
Right. So we do what Buckminster Fuller suggested, that if you have a system and you want to change the system, don't fight the system. Make a new one.
Don't join it.
Yeah. Make a new system. Make your own system. We've done that. Well, Providence did it for us. They brought along this bubble tech. By the bubble tech, we can turn the planet into our camper van. It is already, but we can go anywhere in the universe and take the entire planet with us. Yeah, there's no limit to our imagination. There's no limit to what we can do collectively. And with the bubble, when we get into the seed level, via using the proper telepathic intention installation process, there's no limit. None. Zero. You can do whatever you think, and it'll become more and more pronounced and more absolutely mind-boggling, amazing things happening, than what's already. I mean, stopping a volcano's got to be pretty amazing, But we just started, curing people of cancer, eliminating all the plastic from the ocean, on and on and on. Sure. We will be able to do it all. We can now. We do it. We do it all now, but we can change it. Okay.
Yes.
What we've been doing hasn't been working too well.
So we were talking about the scale of the Organmic devices, and how many of those devices did it take, and how many intentions did it take to stop the volcano? Is there a critical mass?
For the volcano, there was only, I think it was only me. And my bubble is very, very powerful. It actually controls a number of other bubbles all over the planet. And so it was just me and some other people I knew in the Big Island of Hawaii they're doing the prayer.
They were focusing.
Yeah. And so we harmonized with stopping the volcano.
So that really means that the more people that take this technology on board and make their own
Yeah, well,
all around the planet.
it's in my essays.
Incredible difference.
It's in my essays that the U.S. government has known since Wilhelm Reich's time that very powerful orgone fields stop wars. You can't fly jets. You can't fire a gun. You can't light a fire. You know, in the heavy duty organmic field, it's non-polar, and if there's no polarization, a flame is highly polarized. Okay, and the electric and magnetic components are at right angles. You know, and in 2D they're parallel to one another. And when they're parallel, when you get to that point, then there's no carbon oxygen antagonism. There's no plasma that can be made. Okay, a real plasma, not like what Kesh talks about. This is bullshit. You know, I mean, real plasma is highly polarized. Okay, this is well known. That's a flame on a candle. It's highly polarized. Okay, and in a very powerful organic field, you can't even light a candle. You can't light a lighter. The jets won't fly. The internal combustion engine won't work. Guns won't fire. The U.S. government's known that since Reich's time, and they know that this technology will change basically all of creation. It actually will. They know that because recently the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission has been trying to ban people from selling orgone on like Etsy and various other places, and they really did. And so we've got the U.S. government validating that this works. You know?
Because they're trying to stop it.
Yeah, right.
Right.
You know, and all of that information's in my essays on the academia website, and they're also posted on the Bubble Tech Facebook page. You read that, it's just totally amazing what's going on there. You know, I don't get a chance to read it that much because I'm running around doing these things. And we were just looking at it today, and they're totally amazing stories of people that are happening. Just go on the Bubble Tech page and start reading it. It'll blow you away. You know, this is real. We're real. We've got a predestined, preordained technology that's going to change the planet, change the entirety of creation. There's nothing to worry about with the government or the satanic dudes. They're going to go away anyway. You know, and this is unstoppable. And the number of bubbles we got, I don't know. There's 1,000 people that have signed up on the Bubble Tech page now. We need 50,000. When we get to 50,000 bubbles working worldwide, it'll go into dream time. Dream times are very fuzzy. Everything's just images. You know? And so in dream time, you have a proper idea, which you will know how to do. All the bubble people will know how to do that. You know how to install your idea, your intention into whatever it is you're doing. Bam. In dream time, it'll happen instantly.
And it happens instantly. So
it actually happens before you finish the thought. It actually this is well known. In astral projection and lucid dreaming, you get to go anywhere in time, space and time, instantly. You get there before you finish the thought. Okay?
Does that bring everybody in with that energy field?
Yeah.
So everybody will
We're all one.
We'll all benefit.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's benefiting now. All of these bubbles, the smallest distance that they have effect over is 500 miles, and normal is infinite. And almost any bubble that you make, after a while, it will go infinite. And it's connected up not only to all the other bubbles. You ask it to connect up to all the other bubbles because we all want to be using this intention installation process because it's just like the Maharishi effect or the 100th monkey effect. You get people doing or imagining or wishing for the same thing in the same way. It's going to happen. Okay? It's going to happen. It's just like television. You get everybody identifying and accepting these images that they give us at the same time, you know, worldwide. So we do the same thing. We borrow a page out of their book. We use the intention installation process that I just described, and by doing so, we have a collective that's unstoppable. And they know it's unstoppable. Our government knows, because they haven't tried very hard to stop people from selling orgone. No, and all they did was validate that it works. That's all they did. And you can see it. Yeah, you can look it up. Nuclear Energy Regulatory Commission bans the sale of orgone on ITSE and various other places. And you can look it up. Google it. You'll see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So what about the time frame? Do you think the more of us who go into that euphoria of the orgone bubble and see the world as being in euphoria, does that bring it forward faster?
Of course it does. The more minds you have.
So we can bring more people on board even faster the more we work with that intent.
Yeah.
Through
Collectively,
the device, collectively.
Well, that's another thing. You can put that
So-
intention. I need to tell our bubblers now.
Yeah.
Please install an intention that everybody on Earth becomes aware of the bubble and starts using it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm.
Please do that. Install that intention. I'll do it when I get home to Martha, or I can probably do it tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the way we can bring it all forward much
That's-
faster.
Correct. Thank you.
Ciao.
Well, I don't know if we have anything else. Oh, yes. Bill Teising, the discoverer of the bubble tech, will be providing a video of, we got a big pine cone, 9 inches, 9 inches tall.
Mm-hmm.
And we made a mold of it, a latex mold. And then we pour cement in there.
Mm.
And we wind up with a piece of cement that looks like a pine cone. And that cement is, when you power it up with the violet ray wand, it's creating vision distortions. And we'll have pictures of that to add on to this video or somewhere else. We're discovering new things all the time with how the bubble works, how to make it more effective. And this pine cone is really, really effective technology for.
Can you just explain that a little more fully? The significance of the pine cone.
Well, it's a
which
pineal.
appears-
It's a pineal gland.
So
The
it
pine cone is the
represents,
same
it's
thing.
a symbol of the pineal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were guessing that,
Going
right?
through that. Yeah, I was. No, I was alluding to it because I'd seen it reported as significant symbol for also the other side, if you like. It's being used by the dark side to great power, but that's really
Well, they revere the
interesting.
pine cone. There's one sitting in the what's the square that St. Peter's Square, is it?
Mm-hmm,
At the Vatican. There's an obelisk with a pine cone, pineal shaped, capital, to the top of the obelisk.
Yes.
It's kind of like there's no description of what it is, but we know what it is. It is the way to get intentions installed into 2D.
So this is
I don't
where-
think they know that. We know it.
So it's the pineal that is the tool.
At the end of the day,
Is
the
our
pineal, but it is our heart that is the reflection, our bubble genie comes from our heart. We know that, and our heart apparently is a pretty nice guy.
Okay.
Doesn't have any judgment. He's happy, he's euphoric.
Yeah.
He or she, they come out with different names. Your bubble genie will name itself.
Right.
And you'll know, because you'll ask your bubble genie's name. You'll start to ask, bubble genie, what's your, and you'll get the answer before you finish. It'll pop into your brain.
So it's trusting it, it's working with it, and
Yeah.
and
Well, that's a
just
big
be-
thing, is being able to trust your spiritual self and the spiritual intentions and ideas that you have, and knowing that they're good. And in the case of the bubble, trust is not required because you get the euphoric blowback. You know that it worked.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's a whole different principle of living and being.
Right. Make a new
Sounds to
system.
me.
We're making a new system.
Yeah,
This is a system that will change the entirety of creation, because it supplants love and fear. Gone. We got euphoria, and love and fear will eventually become cognitive dissonance. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So has this been predicted? Has the organ bubble been phenomena?
I haven't run across any specific predictions of it from anywhere, frankly. That it is a predestined tech is obvious because it's simple. The dark dudes can't use it, and it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm.
And it's too simple. It's ridiculously simple. No moving parts, of course, and other than you.
Sure.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So, do we have any more
Do we want to add?
questions? Do we have anything?
I don't know. I
more
think
to
that's
add to this
about it, Miles. You okay?
this evening?
Anything you want to know, Miles?
I think you just want to make sure that people know how to program it, to summarize it, having built it, program it, and where do you keep it? And do you need it outside or inside?
Yeah. Well, I like to see the bubble pieces outside because then you get the birds and the bees and everything coming around, butterflies, the hummingbirds, all these kinds of things come around when you have one outside.
Mm.
But probably the best place for your first bubble is in your bedroom. Because then you're in it a long period of time every day, and
I think the other thing is how long do you use the infrared electrical device on it, the infrared light, or the
violet ray one?
Violet ray, which obviously you can't have those on outside.
The violet ray ones that work very, very well are built by a company called Subay in China, Subay, and you have to buy them direct. You used to get them from Amazon. Now you got to buy them directly from Subay in China on their Alibaba, selling site. And those you ask the bubble genie to protect and cool the violet ray 1 transformer, which is in the handle, so that it'll last indefinitely. And I've got 3 violet ray 1s that have been running continuously for, I don't know, since May, June, about June. June, July, August, September. So it's been running for 4 months nonstop. But the ones we got now don't seem to want to be able to do that. And the infrared light is an infrared heat lamp that they use for poultry. And they turn it on 24/7 for the chicks to keep themselves warm. And the infrared energy is healing. That's why they have infrared saunas. And everything that's put into the bubble gets magnified, amplified, and broadcast. Yeah.
So the red bulb, the infrared bulb, isn't just for setting the concrete.
No, it's for
as we did today.
Yeah.
But it's actually the red light frequency that is.
Yeah, the infrared frequency and the violet ray 1 frequency have a bit of a harmony or synergy together that increases the power of the bubble.
That's really interesting. And we were also saying, well, you were saying earlier that that you can take a piece from an orgone bubble device, rather like sourdough, and add it to another, and so on and so. Do you want to explain how to do that?
I'll just quote that description. A post that one of the bubblers put on the Bubble Tech site today, and what he's done is he makes a bubble, and bubbles it up and use it like we've been describing. Then you take a piece out of that bubble. It doesn't have to be a very big piece, and you put it in another bubble. You fire it up, use it, and then you take a piece of that bubble and put it in yet another bubble piece. And what he said was that this third bubble piece is so powerful, you don't need the violet ray wand or the infrared lamp. It's powerful. And he said that he made 3 cup-sized ones, just little orgone pieces, okay? Mm-hmm. And he had to put them outside because they're too powerful to be inside.
That's amazing.
Okay, did I say the very first intentions you always put into your bubble is to protect all electronic equipment and to enhance their function. And it does that, okay? Except if you get too close. If you get any of your cell phone or anything, you get too close to the bubble, it'll cancel it. It'll first thing it'll cancel the signal. You won't have any signal, which happened today. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then we installed intention, and then it went back to working. You know?
Right. Right. So we can have clear air with a bubble in our.
Yeah. Right. You can ask for clear air, but it's very, very important to ask the bubble to protect all electronic equipment and make it work better, and it'll do that. And then it's like we were talking earlier. Yes, you don't go to the bubble. Cancel all the chemtrails. That doesn't work. You go to the bubble and say, yes, I would like clear skies. Thank you very much. And the bubble will do that.
So
in fact, it's doing it now. We've got maybe 20, 30 bubbles working in the UK. Okay. And we asked a while back for clear skies, September and October, one day a week of rain. And that's what's been happening all last month and this month. It's beautiful days.
They have. They've been amazing.
And that includes Ireland.
Even Ireland.
Yeah, even Ireland, even Scotland.
Yeah.
The whole of UK. And we're doing. That's us. That's us. You can thank us for the sunshine.
Okay. So we don't have to worry about Wi-Fi and.
No, the Wi-Fi is a mitochondrial poison. You don't have to worry about it.
We don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, you tell your bubble, make the Wi-Fi signal healing. Thank you very much. End of discussion. That happens.
And it happens.
That's correct.
That would be such good news to people who are really sensitive to those frequencies.
One guy, it is possible to make orgone devices so well that they bubble up on their own without even the violet ray wand or anything. Just like the guy was saying where he continued, well, we've had a couple of them that you made, right from the get-go. And so a friend of mine in Florida, I was online, helping him, make it. He made this bubble piece, and on its own, it broadcast for 3,500 miles. So then he said, okay, we want to make all of the cell phone signals and Wi-Fi not harmful, to be healthy, okay? In the entire East Coast of the United States, that happened. And he took off. He went on trips, and he goes places, and people that had normally been sensitive to 5G or the cell phone towers or whatever, no longer sensitive. Yeah, smart meters, all of that. They were no longer sensitive to it. It didn't bother them, because he'd wiped it out from Florida for the entire East Coast.
So when he did that, did he say forever, or do you have to put in? You have to add your your imagination has no limits, but you do have to say what it is you want. You have to be quite specific.
Yeah, you need to. Well, you make the image, and the image is quite specific.
Yeah. The power of intention.
Yeah, right.
So as you say, we have to be careful what we wish for.
That's a good idea, yeah. Well, this happened. Sitting around the bubble, like we were sitting around the bubble here, and sitting around Martha, my bubble up in north of England. And we were talking about the old cowboys, old time. Well, I'm a cowboy. I was born and raised on a ranch in Montana. I used to ride the range from sun up to sundown, rodeo on weekends. That's a cowboy. They play tricks on you. Your bubble genies will play tricks on you. You'll see that happening. If you get your bubble going, they play tricks on you. They like to be mischievous.
See whether you're on your toes or not with your thoughts.
Well,
catch you out.
It's not possible with me, because I know what's going on, but they'd still try anyway.
Yeah, trial and error.
Yeah.
Trial and error.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
So.
Anyway, great fun. Thank you very much, Karen.
So, well, I think it's been a great conversation this evening. I've learnt a lot talking to you, and I hope the folks who've been listening.
I wish you euphoria and the entirety of creation euphoria. Now, so be it.
So exactly, yeah. So we can look forward to a very happy, positive future.
And this is all in writing. The install intention telepathically is an essay that's on the academia website and also on the Bubble Tech page.
Yeah, so go make your devices.
Right. All right. Thank you, darling.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much indeed. A pair of you, thank you. We can shake hands again on screen. That would be very nice.
All right.
And
Yeah.
our guest interviewer and Mike, good evening for now. Thank you.
Bye, guys.